Good morning, everyone. It's Shauna coming to you live from her craft room in Edmond, Oklahoma. Today is Saturday, October 11th, 2025. It is 11 a.m. straight up. So let me give you a few minutes just to get everybody hopping on, and I'm going to get over here and make sure that I'm in the right spot, I'm turned the right way, all the good technology stuff, that you guys can hear me. Let's see. Everybody hopping on. Yep, okay. So this is the wonderful card that we're making. This is a Gatefold Easel Card. So kind of a cool twist. I saw this on funstamper.com. I had never seen a card like this before, so something fun, exciting, and new. I'm sure people have created it, but it's the first time I'm seeing it. I have tweaked her measurements a little bit. So this is what we're making, but before we get started, and while everybody is kind of scrolling through Facebook world and seeing me that I'm live, let's wait for a couple of minutes and see if they hop on. If you guys are scrolling through Facebook world, make sure you stop by and say hi. If you don't say hi, I don't know that you're here. So, so glad it's Saturday. It's beautiful outside. I should be outside taking care of business, but I've got lots of work to do as far as Stampin' Up goes. So I'm in my office working today. Just a couple of announcements. I have been asked where are the next craft shows, and I just want to make sure you guys know where to find me and Jason. So Earth Glow Market is November 8th, about a month away. The admission is free. It's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is at Church of the Servant, so 14343 North MacArthur Boulevard, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73142. It's on MacArthur, in between Memorial and Northwest 150th or 33rd, depending on if you know the Edmond or the Oklahoma City roads. So it's a great market. It's been around for about 35 years. So lots of great vendors that come back every year. Lots of great things from local artists. Then the one after that is going to be at Putnam City North. This is a big one. They've had this for several years. There's over 100 vendors. There's food trucks. This one is December 6th, so another month away, so 2 months away. It's from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Again, it's free admission, and this one is on Rockwell, 11800 North Rockwell Avenue, and it's called North Pole Market. So if you guys are out and about, these are both two great craft shows that we will be at, and hope that you come by and say hi. I would love to see you guys. So those are the two craft shows. I think that's all we're going to be doing for the rest of the year. I did one at the end of September, so just a few weeks ago, and one in November, one in December. It's almost one every month, and it's a lot to get ready for a craft show, so I'm pretty sure that's all we're going to take on. There's a lot that goes into that. So just want to remind everybody of a few housekeeping rules. There are 3 levels of creativity that Stampin' Up! Offers. We've got something for everyone. We've got our kits, which are great for our beginners because they are step-by-step instructions. We have 2 different kinds of kits. These are the ones you can find online. They come out with at least 2 every month, sometimes 3. And you can see everything that's in those kits. They are different prices depending on what you get. Some of them are home decor, some of them are cards, some of them are treat bags. So there's quite a variety. Now our kits were just on sale Monday through Wednesday at 30% off, and I saw a lot of you pick those up. So great price, great time to do that. These are paper pumpkin kits. These are a monthly subscription kit. If you're ever interested and you have any questions, reach out to me. I love these kits. It's kind of like a Christmas gift to yourself all year long. Or you can also get a paper pumpkin for somebody else. So if you have a friend that loves to craft, this is a great thing to send to them every month. These are sneak peeks. So we don't know exactly what's in these kits when we get them at our door. We get little sneak peeks. The one that just ended was this one right here, and it made 9 cards. It's Christmas themed, so if you're needing to get a jump start on Christmas, this is kind of the way to do it, because you can make 9 cards really fast, really quick. But again, that one ended yesterday, the 10th. So this is the new one. It's called Wrapped in Cheer. If you give money or gift cards during Christmas time, this is going to be a great kit. I've had a sneak peek at the stamp set. It's right here. It's got a little wreath on it, has a little bow. It's got some really pretty fonts for the greeting. There's a great Merry Christmas. It has some embellishments. And you can put more than gift cards or money in these boxes. They have like a wax lining. So if you wanted to put baked goods in there, like cookies or a brownie or something like that, you could do that as well. They're not very tall though. They're pretty thin. So, but this one makes 8. And you can order multiples. You can order more than one paper pumpkin. They're called paper pumpkin refills. And so if you want a refill, you can get a refill. And that comes with everything but the stamp. But it comes with these boxes, some tags, some twine. This is going to be fun, guys. You have to be subscribed by November 10th. So you've got about a month to figure out if it's something you want or don't want. And then the one for November 11th through December 10th, this is kind of the sneak peek on it. I just know that it's going to be floral. It's going to have some blues, maybe some more of a wintry color theme. It's got a watercolor effect to it, and it's floral. Watercolor and bloom. It says customizable sentiment stamps. I'm not really sure what that means. I don't know if that's going to be like little letters, like a little alphabet set that you can make your own words out of. I'm not sure. So, and then this is the add-on die that goes with those kits. So if you want to make more tags, this one right here goes for this month that we just did. And then I think these florals go with not next month, the month after, and I think this tag goes with next month. So the flowers go with this one, the tag goes with this one, and then the joy goes with the one that just ended. So if you want to keep that crafting going on and make more than what just comes in the kit, you can. But those are our 2 kits. And I love our kits because they are step-by-step instructions. If you're kind of having mojo issues, it kind of is an easy way to get things going, get your creative juices flowing. So great for beginners, advanced. I love our kits. The next for the intermediate level is the quick and easy mix and match options. And then, of course, for your avid scrapbooker, crafter, creativity your way, anything goes. It's pretty much most of our catalog. So, again, we offer something for everyone. How how many of you guys have taken us up on the new starter kits? I am telling you what, I have never seen in my Stampin' Up! Life, and I've been with Stampin' Up! Since 2010, I want to say. I've never seen them offer a kit this low. There are no obligations. There are no risk. Some people join just to get the discount. Some people join just to get the savings with the starter kit. Some people join to make it a business. It is completely up to you. This is a judgment-free zone. So if you are interested in any of that, holler at me. You don't have to make a business out of it. I don't care. If you just want to do it for your savings, that's how I started Stampin' Up. I was already spending the money, so I thought I might as well save. $35 gets you in the door, and you get to pick $125 worth of products. You get a free kit. You get free shipping at first. You get free VIP access. You get to see everything early. So this is an option, and then this is an option. If you want to spend $99, then you can get $189 worth. It really just depends on what you want. I will say that we have a stamp and a cut and embossing machine, and you can, if you get your starter kit and you want to get that machine, this is a great way to get that machine because you can save a lot of money. Anyway, if you're interested, reach out to me, holler at me. That is going on for the month of October. Stampin' Up! Is also offering this 12-day advent calendar. This is $99. I just posted a video yesterday on my Facebook page of an unboxing so that you could see what was in all 12 windows. I know $99 is a lot, and some people, that's a risk. They don't want to spend that $99 on something that they don't know what it is. This is not a seasonal thing. Everything coordinates that's in these windows, and you can use it all year round. It is floral themed, so excuse me. Goodness. So there's dies, there's papers, there's embellishments, there's stamps. If you want to be surprised, do not watch that video. It opens up every door. So that is while supplies last. Another thing that Stampin' Up! Is offering are virtual classes. This is something new. And I will say, they've already, this class, it's number 170073. So if you go into our online store and you put in this number, or you put in craft class or virtual class, this is going to come up. So this item number is just for the class. It gives you entrance into the videos. It does not buy the products that you're going to use for the class. In fact, I'm going to be honest, this class, they are using the Traditions of Christmas suite. Here's the suite collection, 165877. Now, right now, they are out of the designer series paper. That is on back order until, I want to say, November 18th. Okay, this class is October 23rd. Now, you can, once you have access to it, watch it down the road. I mean, it's not like a watch once and done. So you can watch them do the class, you can learn the tips and tricks, and then when this designer series paper comes back in order, then you can do it later. But the class is one thing, and then the products are something separate. So be careful with that. Be warned. And then there's also a list of additional supplies that you will need to complete that class with them online. But now, there's nothing saying that you can't order this craft class and use a whole different suite of products. You don't have to use the traditional Christmas suite. You could use the suite of Halloween. So, if you are online shopping, don't forget about the last chance products. Don't forget about the online exclusives that you can only see online. Don't forget about the kits. We have these 2 great catalogs, but there is so much more. So if you have these catalogs, because I love a good catalog, I love to see all the samples, I love to go through it and heart the things that I want. I don't know if this is because when I was little we had, "Hi Mom, how are you?" I'm surprised you're on. We had JCPenney catalogs and Sears catalogs that came out at Christmas, and they were huge catalogs. I would live for that time of year where you could go through and just look at all the toys and mark what you wanted because Santa Claus might bring it to you. So I don't know if that's where this comes from. But I love a good catalog. I just don't want you guys to forget about all the online stuff that you can't see in the catalogs, because there's a lot of great online stuff. In fact, the card that we're making using the Spooky Suite suite of products, it's an online exclusive. So there's a lot of good stuff on there that they come out with that never make it in the catalog. Just a reminder of some things that we've also made with this suite of products. Here are these little haunted house treat boxes that, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here. There's toys in here, there's candy in here. So for those special trick-or-treaters that you just want to go a little bit above and beyond, this was last week's video. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The last 15 minutes of that video, don't even pay attention to. It's like I got flustered and I just forgot what I was doing, and I put this piece of paper right here. I scored this wrong. I was showing you guys to put the little inch mark here and then score from this corner to that corner. It's the other way. You need to put your 1 inch mark right here and then score from here to here and here to here. That way you can fold it together and close it. I don't know what happened to me, if I just lost all train of thought. I got flustered and it was a whole mess. So if you watch that video, be forewarned. I went a little off kilter, off the rails. I've also shown you guys this cute little treat box. I've made this little cute treat box. These are little nerds in these little tester bottles. So lots of cute ideas. This is my favorite time of year. I love little treat boxes, and nothing screams treat boxes and candy like Halloween. So this is my crafting season, but I am going to come today with a card. I want to show you guys a cute card. I've shown you guys this pack of paper a couple of different times, so I'm not going to go there. The way this card opens, again, this is a gatefold card. Let me grab my little take your pick tool so I can get that out. So a gatefold just means that you have 2 little panels that open up like this. That's the gate. So this is a gatefold pop-up easel card. And I know that's kind of hard to show, but this center part pops up and then you can display it like that. Is that not stinking cute? I love it. It's very easy to make. Again, I saw this online at funstamper.com. I had never seen a card like this. So I'm going to show you guys how to make it. Again, I have tweaked her measurements just slightly. So where is my, there it is. I'm gonna pull out my cutter, my score. You're gonna need a full 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper on this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna score this at 2 1/8. So 2 1/8, and again, if you know your measurements, where's my little sheet? I have a little cheat sheet. Where's it at? Here it is. So if you're looking at your ruler, your 0 to 1 inch, the smallest ones are 1/16 inches. There are 16 of those in an inch. The next to biggest are the 8ths, and there are 8 of those in the inch. And then of course you have your 4ths, and there's 4 of those in an inch, or you have your half, which there's 2 of those. So anyway, that's just a quick reminder of your measurements. I love our Stampin' Up! Cutter score. If you don't have one of these, you need one. You need one in your life. There are measurements down here so you can do special cuts in the middle of your papers. Which, speaking of that, before I get started, oh, actually, you know what? I'm not going to show that yet. Never mind. I'll wait till next week. I already have my scrapbooking class and my card class designed for November, but I want to send that out to an email to my girls that are in my crafting class before I show that online. So they always get first dibs. If you're ever interested, think you might want to do my classes in the future, holler at me. I will add you to my email list. I try not to bombard you with emails. I try to only do 1 email per month. I'm trying to get in the camera. I must be down lower today because I'm not fitting in the camera. But anyway, I'll show you guys next week. I'll give you a sneak peek of those November scrapbooking and card classes because I have them ready to go. Okay, back to this. So 2 1/8, so not the little bitty one, but the next to biggest. You're going to score. So move your cutter blade. If you know, this dark one is the cutter blade, this light one is the score. So we're just going to score. And then we're going to flip our paper all the way around to the other side, and we're going to score again on the 2 1/8. So you're doing the same thing to both sides of the card. Okay, and then you're going to turn it landscape wise, so the long way, and you're going to score at 5 1/2, which is half of the card base, because this card base, this piece of paper, is 8.5 by 11. So score it in half this way. So what you're left with is basically like an H. Hopefully you can see these score marks. There's a score right here, so middle of the paper, and then there's a score on each side at the 2 1/8. We are going to move this out of the way. And now we're going to actually, nope, I take that back. We're not going to move that out of the way. I need one more score line. So on the top piece, we're going to score in between these 2 score lines. Do I want to do that? Let's not do that yet. Let's cut down our score lines first. I think that's going to be easier. Okay. There's another score line that goes in here, but let's cut down and it'll be easier to score. So again, the top part, and I'm gonna, usually I say cut right up on your score line. I'm actually gonna come in a little bit inside the score line, because if you don't, then when you go to close this, it buckles this piece a little bit. So you're actually inside on this piece for the score. That's going to make more sense here in a second. But just know that when you're cutting up this score line, to come inside the line. And I'm really having a hard time seeing these score lines because of the lighting in here. So I'm going to bring back in my trimmer. I think this is going to be easier for me. Let me stand up over this. I think I'm going to get a more precise. I can see my score line right here. And I can line it up with this score blade. And I'm just going to pull it down. And again, I'm on the inside of that score line. Here's the score line, here's my cut. I'm going to do the same thing on this side right here. Here's my score line. I'm going to come on the inside of that by just a hair. I'm going to come back up here to my middle score line, line that up, and then come down. So what you have now is this right here. And you can tell I'm just a hair inside those score lines as far as my cut goes. Okay, now what I can do is flip this around like this, and I'm going to score one more time on this middle piece. So that score line is at 2 3/4. So I'm going to go 2 3/4, and I'm going to score, not cut, from this cut line to this cut line. This is going to make the easel part of your card. Now I can move this out of the way. Okay, and then I'm going to come back in with my scissors, and I'm just going to cut on this score line right here. I'm removing this tab. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. I'm second guessing myself. It's been a week since I've made this card. Okay, I'm still okay. I'm good. And I'm going to come back in on this side right here, and again cut this little piece and remove that tab. So this is what we're left with. Let me grab my bone folder so that we can burnish all these edges down and fold all these score lines. So here's one score line. Here's one score line. Good crisp score lines are your key to a good card. We're going to fold this one down. It makes it pop up better, it makes it stand better, and then this one we're just going to fold up on itself and score that down. Okay, so what this leaves us with is, I'm going to bring back in this card right here. So these are the sides that come up right here. And then this right here is your little easel mechanism. So, headed in the right direction. Mom, I think I figured out why you can't comment, why it takes you back in and out. I think what I have figured out is that you see the reel and you're watching the reel. I did not know, and I think this is something that Facebook changed, but reels used to be like 5-10 minute little fast easy things. Now my whole video can be a reel. And so if you're watching the reel, then I think when you go to comment, it takes you out of the live video. I think that's what it is. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking. So anyway, okay. Now, I'm going to pull this back in over here. I have already, to save some time, pre-cut all these pieces of paper because there's a lot of it. Whoops, and I'm dropping everything. Give me just a second. Did I lose anything? I don't think I did. Okay. There are lots of little layers to this card. So, you need 4 pieces that measure 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. And these pieces are what go right here on each side and then right here on each side. So let's put these down. This is just our basic black cardstock. This is just going to give you about 1/8 of an inch border all the way around, so just center that on your flap. Put it on each side. You can use whatever adhesive floats your boat. I'm a scrapbooker, so I have this huge, gigantuous ATG gun. I go through a lot of adhesive, guys. So when I say that I buy adhesive, I mean like I buy probably 200 rolls of ATG adhesive at a time. Okay, why can't I get this lined up? Apparently I can't talk and line up paper at the same time. I'm on the struggle bus. Okay, hold your mouth just right. Concentrate, quit talking. Okay. Yep, you're right, because on Facebook I can comment. Yes, Mom, I did not realize until yesterday. What was I doing? Was looking at something. I was on Facebook and I was looking under my media part, and it shows the videos, it shows reels, it shows all sorts of different things, the photos. Anyway, I clicked on my reels because I thought, that's not a reel. My reels are real short, and it's usually just what I'm offering for my card and scrapbooking classes for the next month. I will create a reel that way. But there was some reels of like my Facebook Live videos. So I clicked on those and I was like, what? And then I saw that on a reel, I can post my whole 1 hour live, and I thought, that's what Mom's doing. She doesn't even know she's doing it, but you watch so many reels that when you open up your Facebook, it's a reel that pops up. Okay, so that's why you can't comment, because it takes you out of that reel into the Facebook Live for you to comment. Anyway, I just figured that out. So now you need 4 pieces of designer series paper that measure 1 3/4 by 5 1/8. And I've got 2 pieces of, again, I've already shown off this designer series paper, so I'm not going to pull this out, but I've got 2 pieces of the candy paper and then 2 pieces of this window paper. And I'm going to use the window paper on the inside because we've got the door and the house and everything right here. And so I think that really goes together. Like he's standing in front of the door with the candy, and then you've got the windows on like the side of the house. I know they're not proportionate or whatever, but, and then these 2 pieces I'm going to use for the front. That's the 2 pieces that when you fold up this card, you see it on the outside. So let's go ahead and lay these down. I'm telling you what, you learn something new on Facebook all the time. They are constantly changing things, making things better. I use that term very loosely because you get something figured out and then they change it and then it's a whole new ball game. Okay, now this, instead of this being an 1/8 of an inch all the way around, these are the 16th inches all the way around. And the reason why I like this 16th inches so much more than the 1/8 is because I really want to see the designer series paper, the pattern. I think that's the pretty part. I don't want to see a huge black border around this. So when I say that I've tweaked her measurements a little bit, this is what I'm talking about. It's just a personal thing. If you want a bigger border for this black piece, then cut this another 1/8 of an inch. Tweak your measurements. Okay, now let's fold this in. And I'm going to put these candied pieces. And there's not really, I guess I'm going to say, direction to this paper other than the bats. The bats are on a certain direction, so be a little mindful if you want your bats going in the right direction. But really, it's Halloween and bats fly all sorts of different directions, so to each their own. No one is going to notice that your paper is the wrong side up. Did you guys have a good World Card Making Day last Saturday? Did you guys hop on and watch the Stampin' Up event? I was on there and I thought they did a great job, especially at the very end. There was a gentleman by the name of Joe, or Joey, and his card was breathtaking, guys. And if you registered, did you notice that you got a $5 off coupon emailed to you? Yes, you did. Telling you what, I want all the savings that I can get. So that coupon is only good like for 30 days. There is an expiration date on there, so make sure you use your $5 off coupon if you haven't already. Okay, you need 2 pieces of black cardstock that measure 4 by 5 1/4. What do you guys think about me having all these pieces pre-cut? Do you like this better, or do you like watching me cut the paper? You'll have to let me know. So one goes here, one goes here. Now when you're putting it on this easel, you do not want to glue this down up here because then it wouldn't pop up. So you only want to put your adhesive right here on the bottom. Am I lined up? I can barely, it's really hard here. Let me move my card this way. It'll be easier for me to see. Because this is a very, very, very small, I would say even smaller than a 1/16 of an inch border of the petunia pop. So I want to make sure that I'm on my purple piece of paper. Purple people eater. Every time I say purple and I'm thinking Halloween, that's what I think of. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do this layer. Let's focus on this layer, which is the hippo layer right here. So now here's a piece of pumpkin pie, and it measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. There are lots of little layers to this card. And that's kind of why I thought I would go ahead and cut them all, because there were lots of little layers. And it's okay to put adhesive all the way up on this one, because this is the free one underneath. So and again, you just kind of want an equal size border all the way around. And I struggle with that sometimes. Like, I just cannot get my piece of paper exactly the way I want it. Okay. And then here is our designer series paper. And again, this is the piece of paper that has 2 sheets, and you could cut it in half and use all the different designs. So this one measures 3 6/8 by 5. And I know he is dressed up, this little hippo, or her little hippo, if it's a girl, I don't know. Let's see, we could name her Sally, and it could be a girl, Sally the hippo. To me, she's actually not trick-or-treating, but I guess she could be. To me, because this door is opened, it's like she's handing out candy, like she lives in this house, this apartment building, whatever you want to call it, and she is the one handing out the candy. So she's standing, you know, on her sidewalk saying, hey, come get your candy. Okay. So now we've finished, well, let's go ahead and let's put our little hippo on here. This hippo, it's just one of those little laser die cut hippos that you pop out of the paper. And I'm not going to put her on dimensionals or pop her up because I normally would. With this being a gatefold and this closing and this tying, this is already pretty thick. If you were to mail this instead of just handing it to somebody, it's going to be a tight squeeze in that envelope as is, and it's probably going to cost you extra postage. I like the pre-cut, then you have more time for the card or project. Okay, good to know, Mom. Good to know. And you know what, I will have to say, it's easier for me because I'm not too worried about making a mistake when I'm cutting it and having to recut paper. Because I focused while I was cutting it instead of sitting here rambling. Okay, so there is the first little part of our card that pops up. Now, you'll notice there's nothing to keep it up. If I don't have anything to prop it up, it just falls down. So now we need to make this part of our card right here. So this is what this card looks like on the inside, and you can do this a multiple of different ways. This is another little laser cut pop out piece. I used it here and I used it here, and then I stamped whatever you want on it. The 2 stamps that I used, the Happy Halloween is from Spooky Halloween, and the Don't Worry Eat Sweets is from Spooky Halloween. But this Have a Spooktacular Halloween is actually from Words for the Season. This is a great stamp set that I don't want you guys to miss out. And I've talked about this before, but it's got Halloween, it's got New Year's, because it talks about toasting. This could also be used for graduation, because it talks about, you know, to yesterday's achievements and tomorrow's bright future. It's got Christmas. May the magic of Christmas fill each corner of your home and heart. It's got Thanksgiving. So incredibly grateful for all my blessings, especially you. So again, words for the season. This has Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, all in one stamp set. This is a great, if you are needing sentiments, a great stamp set. However, this is a perfect stamp set. So there's multiple ways and different things that you can stamp and make it your card, however you want to do it. You know what I forgot to do, and I'm just now realizing this. I forgot to put my ribbon up underneath this. Let me show you a little cheat. Okay, so our take your pick tool, this tool right here, these little things come out and you can turn these around and put them back in there. So this little spatula right here is great, and I always use my Cricut one because I always have my little poker tool right there on this, which you could buy multiple of these and then you wouldn't have to undo your blade each time. But these do pop out and turn around. I am going to take my little Cricut one. I'm just going to come up in here, whoops, slide that under there, and kind of lift that middle section up so that I can get my ribbon up under here. I cannot believe I'm always forgetting something, guys. Do you guys ever sit there and scream at the camera and say, no, Shauna, don't put that down yet? Okay, this is about 2 inches, so quite a bit of ribbon. That's 16 inches plus 10. So actually 26 inches of the Petunia Pop ribbon. So I am going to put that through here. There is never a mistake in the card world making or in the creative zone. There's only happy improvements. That's what we like to say. There's never a mistake. Okay, come on, ribbon. I'm caught on that adhesive. There we go. So just pull it through that way. I love the shimmer on this ribbon. This ribbon is so soft and so easy to tie and manipulate. I just get so carried away that I forget the order on how to do things. Okay. So you can see how easy it is. And what you want to do is just make sure, let's flip this over, let's close this, make sure that we have equal amount of ribbon on each side. And if you don't, just pull it through, it'll pull, but that is probably close enough. Don't damage your paper. Okay. So that'll give us enough on either side to tie that. Okay, now back to where we were. Sometimes when you're looking for something, Shauna, it's right there in front of you. Just look down. Yes, Mom, yes. Okay, so now back to the inside of the paper. Here's a piece of our white, and it's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. This layers nicely right here on top of this black. And this is up to you. So back to me talking about different things. Okay, I have this little Have a Spooktacular Halloween. I could have definitely not put this up here. Saved this to make another one of these, you know, make 3 cards or whatever. And I could have stamped this down here. I just thought I'll stamp it up here. This will be where people write their message. Completely up to you. Whatever works best for you. This piece right here measures 3 7/8 by 2. This is on that sheet where the houses are. This is a little border that's in the middle, so you just kind of have to cut that down. And I'm just going to layer this. It's the same as this white piece, so that you don't see any white peeking through. This is just an adhesive eraser from this little post-it note that I just pulled off with the measurements. There's a little bit of sticky gunk there, so I want to get that off. Okay. And then you've got two pieces like this. Here's a little piece of black that's 4 by 3/4 of an inch, and a little piece of white that is 3 13/16 by 1.5. This layers on top of this and goes right here. But what we want to do is stamp on this first. So I'm going to stamp the Don't Worry, Eat Sweets. And I'm going to grab my black Memento ink. And I'm actually going to, this has a little bit of gunk on it from that post-it note as well. And I don't want that to mess up my stamped image. So let me make sure I get all that little gunk off, or it won't stamp right. You can take and ink up your stamp two different ways if you prefer. Sometimes it is easier to ink it up that way, and I just put ink all over my fingers. Okay, let's see if I can get this straight. There we go, not too bad. So now I can flip this over, put some adhesive right here, pull in my little black piece, and if you wanted to, it doesn't really matter, but this one has a little itty bitty tiny, like 1/16 of an inch border all the way around. I could come up here, or I could leave a bigger border. So here, let me do this one this way, and then you can be the deciding factor of what you like, what you think is more eye-pleasing. Because this would be very easy for me just to put this way up here and then come in with my trimmer and trim off the excess. But I'm not going to. I'm going to go ahead and just center it and lay it in the middle. And then pop this up. You'll see what I mean here in a second. And we're just going to put this over the middle of this so it hides that seam. And we're going to, the edge of this black piece meets the edge of that black piece on the bottom. Is that straight? I can't really see. I think it is. So this is what makes your little easel part stand up. It just catches on that edge so that it doesn't keep sliding down. So it just acts as a little stopper. Now there are some little pieces of candy corn. Again, these were just little punch outs. So I'm going to take my little itty bitty dimensionals, my little small babies, and I'm going to put one here and another one here, and then just one on the little single one. And I'm going to pop my little single one down here. Oop, I don't want it covering up my words. Make sure you stay in those score lines, that you don't have anything hanging over, because you want your gatefold to close. And again, I realize this would not be a card that you would just make for everybody, but usually when you're sending a little special trick-or-treat card, it's to a special grandchild or niece or nephew or so. And again, up to you. Do you want to put have a spectacular Halloween here, or do you want to stamp it here? Do you not want to stamp anything at all because we already have the Don't Worry, Eat Sweets? It's completely up to you. There's no wrong choice. So the reason, if you guys can come back to the very beginning, that we cut this inside the score lines that we made is because look at all that bulk. That is thick. So now when we're turning this over and closing this, we want to make sure that that closes and can be tied together. So I'm just gonna cheat and close this up real quick. And again, I left plenty of ribbon. You guys know how I love tying bows on camera. It never works for me, ever. Okay. I'm going to get serious with it. I'm going to show it who's boss. Get a little mean. I have fat, chubby fingers, and I can never, there we go. Play with your bow a little bit, get it just the way you want. Okay. Pull that down a little bit, pull that down a little bit. And now we're going to take this, and you could move your ribbon up if you wanted, instead of putting your ribbon in the middle. If you wanted to pull it up a little bit, like for instance, I just came in there and wiggled that around a little bit so I could leave more room. You can move that up if you want. Play around with it, see what you like, what works best. I think I am going to move mine up a little bit just so when I close it, I can center this more in the middle so that that's not all the way down here. Anyway, again, no right or real reason. I'm going to use the Happy Halloween. I already have it on a stamped clear block. Ink this up. It's 11:58. I have 2 minutes. Get that centered. Actually, I want this piece of candy over here. It gives me a little bit more wiggle room since the Halloween's a little bit wider than the Happy. When you go to put this on, make sure that you only put adhesive on this side only. Because if you put adhesive all over it, it is going to not open. Get that centered. Am I straight? I think so. And see, now there's no adhesive right here and it won't catch. So again, let's go ahead, close this up. Show it's who's boss again. Let's tie it together. I asked Lily what you guys were going to do, and she said, we're going to play Barbies, and I'm going to put my makeup on. She already had a list. What do you guys, oh, thank you, Mom. I love it. I think it's super cute. Oops, 12 noon, I hear the tornado sirens going off. Okay, so there's our little bow. Let's not forget about our little embellishments. We have these cute little puffy shimmer star foam stickers in this suite. And I want to use these. So I'm going to take my little take your pick tool, and let's see what I did on this one. Let's close this up. Okay, so I've got a couple of little purple ones here. There are 3 different sizes, and it looks like I've used all the colors. I've got a couple of little black ones down here. So there is a small, medium, and large. And then I have a couple little white ones up here. So I'm just using the extra, well, that one's not an extra large. That one's the medium. Let's go extra large, or not extra, but the large, the big, and then a small one. That kind of blends into the paper because you got white stars on the paper. But there is our card, guys. Is that not stinking cute? I love it. Thank you, funstamper.com. I don't know if she's the one that came up with this or not, or if she saw it somewhere. That's the fun thing about the crafting world. We just, you know, you share ideas. That's the whole reason why we have blogs and Facebook pages and YouTube, so that you can share ideas and share cuteness. Okay. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Thank you guys for spending an hour with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys put your own fun little twist on it. If you do, put it down in the comments below. I would love to see what you come up with and what you create. Have a fabulous weekend, guys. Have fun playing, Mom. Love you all. See you next weekend. Bye-bye.